This is the best cartoon ever. Like, I remember watching this as a kid, and you could even watch it as an adult. It's a good show. It's a good show. I didn't like Batman Beyond at first, but then after seeing the Batman and some of the newer stuff that's out, I really like it. I think it's aged better than... I think it might have been a little bit ahead of its time, the show. But part of the reason why I liked it too is watching Justice League. Now that's one show I wish I got was Justice League. I don't. Just look at the very last episode of Justice League Unlimited and you see why Batman Beyond would be awesome if they continued it. Then over here, since I'm a big Terminator fan, I have the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Moving to shelf 2, classic film Once Upon a Time in the West, in my Western collection here. 310 to Yuma, Young Guns 1 and 2. Very good films. I think that might be like Emilio Estevez's best role. That and like Coach Bombay and Mighty Ducks. But he's one awesome Billy the Kid in this. I like it. And then this is the film. This is one film that influenced me and wanted to make movies and got me into vampires. I'm sorry about like the Twilight stuff and glittering, but they're not fucking vampires. Like this is awesome. I love this movie, Interview the Vampire. All I'm saying is, I'm not even going to compare it to Twilight. I don't know why you should. One's vampire, one's not, but like for people who are just like, oh, I love Twilight. Well, that's good, but this guy looks like he could rip Edward Cullen's head off. Where it is a diamond ring. Then Queen of the Damned. Now, this... I didn't like the sequel as much, but I thought it was okay. It's not like the books, and I have the books. But it's still a pretty good movie. Even better than the movie is this soundtrack. This has maybe one of the most awesome soundtracks I have. Not only that, you know a good soundtrack when you can like listen to track 1, or the first track to the last track, without skipping. Over here is the Blade trilogy. And my vampire collections. And I have the Lost Boys. Now, I remember seeing Lost Boys on Sci-Fi a long time ago, like in '99. I liked it, and I didn't buy it till the sequel's coming out, and that's before... Well, first of all, the sequel's of course not going to be as good, but I wasn't really having my expectations very high for it being straight to DVD and like 25 years later. Or 21 years later, so to speak. This was okay. I thought it was okay for direct-to-DVD. The best part was Corey Feldman as Edgar Frog. I wish I had more of him. My only complaint is that it was short. Like, they could have had it really go somewhere. But it's just like, okay, let's just do like a freaking like Jackass Generation Lost Boys and with more like nudity and gore and stuff. That too, and I don't know, Angus Sutherland didn't really have the same impact I thought as Kiefer, but I thought he did a good job. It just said it wasn't Kiefer Sutherland. I think it would have been better if they had a better cast to support him. I mean, just like a freaking Jamaican vampire, really. Now this I got only because Edgar Frog was a main character. This blew me away. Like this just surprised me. It's like movie, like I've never been so satisfied with a direct-to-DVD movie. Like this felt like it was a freaking multi-million theater movie. And it felt long, even though it was like only like what, 81 minutes or something. I Am Legend's a good movie. It's not like the book. I like the book. Now I wish they had like Will Smith's Robert Neville with like the vampires from the book. That would have been one hell of a movie. Then it's Constantine. That's a very good movie. And then Sweeney Todd. I love Sweeney Todd. That's like one of my favorite musicals. Another musical I don't have is a Fan of the Opera. That was like the first musical I watched, and this is good. Now this, my brother-in-law showed me when I was like 6 years old. Scared me to death. Like, this movie is scary. And it's sad because the remake was really a horrible remake. Like, this is like an independent film, and you had like millions of dollars in the remake. And this was better for being like 1984. Very good. I like it. And it's not like the usual slasher horror. I just love Freddy Krueger. I mean, what's more scarier than a guy killing you during your dreams, like when you're asleep? That's just freaking scary. I remember seeing this on Sci-Fi. As a matter of fact, it was the same day I saw Lost Boys. And Dream Warrior is a very good film. Has a young Lawrence Fishburne. He goes by Larry Fishburne, I think, in this. And then, hey, you notice I just have like the ones Wes Craven was involved in. But, New Nightmare. This is really good. It's like the last action hero horror movie. Just Freddy Krueger coming out to the real world. It's pretty cool. Then I like Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think this is the best version of Dracula, along with the 1931 Bela Lugosi one. And Underworld Evolution. I don't have the first, but this is pretty good. Silent Hill is awesome. I think that, the first Resident Evil, but really, I like the first Resident Evil as a video game movie, but this and the first Mortal Kombat are like the best video game adaptations. Then I have Resident Evil Apocalypse, Hellboy. Hellboy's a good movie. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen I like. I mean, it's not the best movie, but it's a good, entertaining movie. This, now it's over to my crime movies. I like Lucky Number 11. That is one good movie. I love it. Has a good twist. If you're looking for a good crime movie with twists in it, I mean, just has Bruce Willis in it, Morgan Freeman and Ben Kingsley, like Josh Hartnett. But yeah, it's a good film. It's Mr. Good Cat and Culebra. Then there's Robert Rodriguez's Sin City with Frank Miller. Great movie, especially for a comic fan, and have the trilogy, trilogy here with Desperado and them, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Very good films. Then I have The Lookout. Now this is a good movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I suggest seeing it. This is an underrated movie. I like this movie. Whoever has the money has the power. This, I got a Big Lots for like $3. It's not bad, but it's okay, but I like it. It's kind of like a neo film noir, so to speak. It's good. I like The Lookout better, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I mean, he's just like a chameleon. He's like Gary Oldman or everybody. I mean, he just kind of transforms in his roles. And then have Street Kings, a very good Keanu Reeves movie. Then American Gangster. I think this is underrated. I like American Gangster. Although I kind of like the extended version better, only because of the ending with Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe meeting each other. And this is on my top films, The Departed. Very good film. Very. And then this too, Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino. Then Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. They're both really one film, but I like Volume 2 better. And then I have 4 film favorites at Lethal Weapon. This is really good. I love the Lethal Weapons. 4 film favorites of Ninja Turtles, or it's a movie collection. Has TMNT, and then the first 3 Turtles. I like the first and third the best. And then over here is the Mission Impossible trilogy. I like the Mission Impossible movies. Yeah, 3-pack. Then onto my bottom shelf. I have X-Files Season 1 and 2. And I like this, because it's like really thin, like a DVD case, and has 6 discs. I'm going to be highly pissed if like Smallville, like in a year or so, comes up with DVDs like this, because like, that would have saved me a lot of space on my DVD shelf. Then there's Troy. I have a few of the James Bonds. Tomorrow Never Dies, Die Another Day, Casino Royale, and Quantum of Solace. Now I had GoldenEye and Goldfinger, but they're on VHS somewhere. Then the Terminator trilogy. Then Matrix 2 and 3. Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions. Pretty good. Now this, I mean, I like Avatar and Titanic and like Aliens and some of other James Cameron's movies, but I still put this up as #1 for his best film. It's just an action movie that has like a lot of heart and it's really deep, especially the special edition version. Special edition version would have had like Best Picture or something. Then Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I like this. A much better Final Fantasy movie than Spirits Within. I mean, Spirits Within wasn't bad, but it should have just been called The Spirits Within. It really wasn't Final Fantasy. It should have been like The Spirits Within, but from the creators of Final Fantasy.